So I was playing Portal 2 recently when I remembered something.
I forgot to do that.
What are you doing down there?
I was working on Weatley.
Have you made any progress?
Yeah, I've made a bit of
Can I
progress.
see it?
Sure, come on.
Alright. I am so sorry it has taken so long for me to make this recording. This is a really slow process and I feel like I've only recently had enough progress to actually make a fully formed video about it. You see, last video was only about me making the frame, and it was just like a few pieces and a skeleton and gluing it together. But this one I have to make each moving module and program it to work with each other. The main three things that I wanted him to be able to do in terms of programming is face track, move on a rail to regulate a constant distance, and complete competent tasks. Going into this project, I knew that I had some programming skills, but wow, this turned into be quite the challenge. I already had some skills in Java and Arduino, and originally I was going to use a group of Arduinos to run it, but I quickly realized that those weren't going to be powerful enough, so I switched to a Raspberry Pi that I got for Christmas last year, and switched to a Python Arduino hybrid. Basically, the Pi does all of the heavy lifting, like processing and audio recognition, and occasionally it tells the Arduino to move the servos. Here's a step-by-step process of what I did in this portion. Step 1. Spend 40 hours learning how to code just to completely scrap most of that work. Step 2. Find this dude's face tracking code and optimize it to run on a Raspberry Pi, as well as change the servos to stepper motors. The reason it has stepper motors is because we can have infinite spin. Step 4. Cry. I was forced to move spaces for a short time because my workshop was being worked on, but in that time, I graduated high school, got accepted to work at the totally real 100% Aperture Science Laboratories. I made a costume, I made another costume, I made half a costume, and I learned how to make a cloning device so that I can make this a little bit easier. Unfortunately, it may have split the brain cells between the two of us, so I'm not too sure how effective it really is. We need money! Bro, we weren't gonna say that yet! I try to make these builds as easy and cheap as possible for you guys, and that works. But for me, I have to spend a lot of time and money prototyping, modeling, and programming. And honestly, it's a lot of work. So in order to keep this up, I kind of need something to balance it out. So please subscribe. If you're a company, sponsor us. If you're a person and you have extra money, there's a Patreon up. Heck, just throw money in our mailbox.
Do not do that.
Shut up! Okay, so now that the code for the face tracking was finished, it was time for me to create the module to actually put it in Weatley. So I used the King Brothers' model, but I basically augmented it to be able to accommodate stepper motors instead of DC motors. So next was the audio. Eventually, I'm going to hook it up to ChatGPT so it can generate real conversations. But right now, I basically just downloaded a ton of Weatley voice lines from the Portal Wikipedia and put them into a naming list so that my Python script can call them up later and respond to things I say. Whoa, I see that. I see the attention span waning. I see your attention span leaving. Look at this. Look at that, right? Subway Surfers. Boom. Fidget spinner. Boom. Slime. Boom. Somebody hitting something with a wrench for some reason. On to the eye. Why am I the crazy one? That wasn't even in the script. At first I was going to use a dual servo system, but then I saw this really cool thing that somebody made on Reddit and decided to use that instead. Unfortunately, they did not have a link, but I was able to find it on Thingiverse and create a functioning prototype that looks pretty sick. After that, I was able to scale it up to be able to accommodate big boy servos for big boy balls like Weatley. It is currently 11:30 p.m. Please cut me some slack. The voice commands work basically like an Alexa, where I can only listen to a keyword. In this case, it's "Hey Weatley."
Hey Weatley.
After it hears this keyword, then it opens it up to hear the other commands,
You just sent Kane Weatley.
such as
Look more right.
and.
Hello.
But I know what you're asking. How does it know which one to play from the list? Literally no one's gonna ask that. So basically, it rolls a die and knows, oh, if it rolls a 3, it goes through the list and picks hello number 3, and then it plays that. While it's playing that, it opens up a side task that plays the animation, and then they should line up in sync. Hey guys, so I know I don't say this much, but in order to keep making these videos, I really need to ask. These types of projects take a lot of time and money to make, and I need something to kind of justify the effort. So I'm going to ask anybody who wants me to keep doing this to please subscribe. Y'all know it's free. If you feel like helping out even more though, my Patreon is up and running. Woo! Some of the tiers may include shoutouts, access to my code, access to my models, etc. If you have any ideas on what I could add to the tiers in the future, please let me know. And as always, our sources are in the description below. Stay tuned for the next video.